Hello, Gabe Heller here, Hohenzollern on YouTube and HOWTO Brown Couch on Twitch. And I'm in my basement. This is my basement. And as you can see, it is full of dirt and rocks and also some bags full of insulation that I'm going to have to get out of the way trying to make this space usable for something. I take up a lot of space in the house. Sarah doesn't have as much space to do what she wants to do. As you can see, I've already done a little work here. You can see this dirt over here. Dirt used to be that deep over here, and I've taken all that dirt out all the way back to pretty much where you can see. There's a little dirt left back there yet still, but then 2/3 of the house over here still has this much dirt on top of pretty loose rock. As you can see, there we go. As you can see, some of the rock is pretty loose. Now, as you can see also, there are these, you can kind of see this one here, props holding up beams that presumably keep this part of the house from falling into the hole under the house. So I'm going to have to be very careful. Move them one at a time. Not dig under more than one at once. Make sure most of them are in place at any given time. I don't actually know how important they are for holding up the house, and I don't really want to find out. So yeah, and I will be filming more updates down here as I get all these garbage bags full of insulation moved somewhere. And all this wood over here that you probably can't see because it's too dark, moved somewhere, maybe over there where that wood is, if you can see it. I hope you can. Yeah, and we'll see where this goes. Hopefully the house doesn't fall down. Hello, Gabe Heller here again. We've been working in the basement for one day, and we ran into a problem. Well, I couldn't find the pickaxe, and then I found it, and it worked for just a little bit, and then it broke like this, as if like some cartoon Scooby-Doo villain had sawed it halfway through in order to sabotage it. So we have a new handle, which hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to install. Alright, and this is one day's worth of work. Mostly it was moving bags over to this corner, or most of the bags full of insulation now are, as well as over here. I'm hoping you'll be able to see a little better this time than last time. I'm wearing a headlamp. It doesn't light things up great, but well enough that I can see. So we've discovered right down here near this wall there's a pocket of fill. You know, dirt and gravel and things. So I mostly worked on that. I did a little bit of pickaxing there and over there, but then the pickaxe broke, so we'll see. We'll see how things go. So far, this house has not fallen down. Yay. Hello, Gabe Heller here again, and back in my basement. So I was able to repair the pickaxe, replace the handle. I found some videos online on how to replace the handle, but they were for handles that were all made of wood. And as you can see, this one that I was able to get has a little plastic thing on the top. Now, there was also, and currently there's one in this too, there's a hole, but it's hidden behind this, so maybe it's not quite all the way on, but it's been working fine. The nice thing about pickaxes is the more you swing them, the tighter that handle gets anyway, so you don't have to worry if it's a little loose, probably. But so beneath here, where you can't see it, there's a hole, and in the old handle there was a bolt in that hole to keep it from slipping off. And as you can see, it's gotten quite rusty. So had the bolt because of the way we were storing it. So I tried a number of things. I tried cutting through it with the oscillating cutter, and that was not working at all. And I tried holding on to the nut end of the bolt. It was a lock washer. It was a lock nut. I tried holding on to the nut end of the bolt with vice grips and turning the top of it with a socket in a breaker bar. But it just kept slipping off, because the top of it was not nearly as thick as the nut. I didn't think I'd be able to get the vice grips onto the top of the bolt, but I did. I was able to get the vice grips onto the head of the bolt, and then I put the socket on the lock nut, and I was able to get it off. I had to drill holes. I had to drill some holes in this end here to loosen it up, which I did with the drill press. And I drilled about, I'd say 12, 15 holes in it, and that made it loose enough that I was able to just, you know, hit the top bottom of it on the ground, and it slid out. And then I slid this new one in and just kind of whacked it on the ground the other direction, like so. Pushed down on it with my hands here, like so, one hand on either side, and it's on and it seems to be working, so that's good. I haven't used it a whole lot because I find it hard to swing. There's this wall here, and so I can't really swing it into there very easily. So work's been going slow. I went and fixed somewhat that window, though I think we just need a new window. The bottom sash is all rotted out, so right now I've just got some rags stuffed in there. But it's the opening is 32 by 16, and you can buy windows for that on Amazon. So we bought one, and we'll hopefully be installing that soon. As you can see, I've completely dug out basically all the fill that was between. There's some of it in buckets. All the fill that was between the wall and the rock, and now I'm starting to work on the rock. The thing about the rock is that in order to get it loose enough to move, you just end up pulverizing stuff around it, and in some cases, especially near the top, there's already sand and dirt and stuff around the rocks, just not enough for them to actually be loose. So you end up making an awful lot of new sand and dirt and gravel, busting it up and trying to get big rocks out. A lot of what you get is actually small rocks. And I'm thinking I may eventually need, well, I've got out the maul here. Sometimes it's easier to just smash it with the maul than it is to swing the pickaxe into it. Sometimes that works better. Also, Sarah had bought, I think you can see it there, yeah, next to the hammer, there's a chisel, a stone chisel. So I've been using the stone chisel in between there. I feel like when I was doing this a few years back, and then ran into just so much trouble that I didn't have time for it anymore, I was using a crowbar actually, and that was working pretty good, but I can't seem to find the crowbar I was using. Maybe I'll find it while I'm down here, we'll see. I might have left it. But yeah, so far the house has not fallen down. I've been really careful over here near the wall to not erode away too much of the stuff that's under the wall, and hopefully everything will be fine and the house will not fall down. Hello again. It's been a few weeks. I caught COVID, so did my wife, so that was a little bit of a delay. Also, we had to put a new window in over there. The old one was all rotted and was starting to leak a lot of cold air from outside, and we just finally finished that today with the help of our friend Josh. Caulked it in, so hopefully that'll be nice and keep it nice and warm down here, ish, in our cheese cave. So here we have, this is where we're at. Let's see, I've done a bit more work. Hello, cat. My cat's here. Probably can't see him. He's hiding in the dark. There he is. Okay, so yeah, it's it got very muddy in here over the time that we were not working. It rained a bit, so maybe that's why some water seeped in from the outside. But I didn't notice until I was already like scrambling all over things with mud all over my shoes today, so that was fun. But like I said, we seem to be making some progress. Nothing's fallen down yet, so fingers crossed it'll end up well. I'll let you have another update in a bit. Hello, Gabe Heller here again. GHOWTO on YouTube and HOWTO Brian Couch on Twitch, and we've made some progress today. You may notice this support here is gone. I've got this board here. It hasn't fallen down yet, and so far the house hasn't been making creaking noises or anything, as though it's about to fall down. You can see we've got the parts of it sitting over here. There's the main part of it there, and the screw part, and the support. And hopefully we can just get a longer one of these. Also, it looks like it's got pins in it. Maybe we can even extend it. And then we'll just dig down to this level here, over here where the support was, and we'll put the support back. And then we'll move on back towards that support. But yeah, everything seems to be going good so far. Show you more later. Okay, here we are back in the basement again. It's been months since I've last filmed down here. And you can see we've cleared quite a bit of this shelf of rock, which is the makeshift floor. It's higher than I would like the floor to be, so at some point I'm probably going to end up getting a jackhammer. I'm getting a jackhammer at some point to get through it, because banging away at it with tools and pickaxes and things hasn't really gotten very far. But you can see we've got this much space over here, space over there. We put in a new window. I'm not sure that was here last time I filmed. And I've also started moving stuff down here. So we've got a desk. It is sitting on these Tidy Cat buckets, which have been very useful for hauling dirt and rocks out of the basement. But some of them have gotten cracked, so now they are desk supports. Now, I've been noticing some water collecting in this area. I don't know if the cats have been peeing down here or what, so I'm setting the desk up, and tomorrow morning I'll come down here and see if there's any liquid on the desk before I actually put any like computers and stuff on it. This is going to be my new laptop station where I use the laptop, the one that the hinge is broken on, and so I can't really use it on my lap anymore. And I've been getting a lot of stuff done because I have to move it to the kitchen, and Sarah doesn't like it in the kitchen all the time. So hopefully this will mean I can get more stuff done, get more videos done, maybe work on getting a job. But that's where we're at for now. It all seems to be going well. Got this fan in here. I had to turn it off for filming, but that's trying to dry out. When it rains, it does get a little muddy down there. I was able to sweep all the dust basically away from this part here, but I didn't do that before it got muddy, so now I've got to wait for that to dry out. It's supposed to not rain much this week, so hopefully that'll dry out nicely and I can get that mud out of there. I can sit there comfortably, probably on this other bucket, or maybe on that step stool over there. Bye for now.